Hey guys, what's going on? TriggerhappyJon coming at you with another Summoner's Glory video. Guys, today is episode 2 of the Phantom's Call. Now, today we are joined by two very unique and great guests. We have Furry Hippo Gaming, as well as Dan Heilman. Now, Furry Hippo Gaming is actually, he was more of an AFK Arena content creator, as well as, if you guys stick around and you kind of watch the VOD, or the video here, you're going to see that he's actually very experienced in a lot of different games. So it's very cool to get his perspective of other games and how they correlate to Summoner's Glory. Now, Dan's going to be kind of the same thing. He hasn't quite made it into the content creator program of Summoner's Glory, but without a doubt, no, he will get in there as soon as he possibly can. But yeah, he's got great content. He's releasing a lot of daily videos for YouTube, so definitely check them out. I will have links to both of them, their content, at the bottom of the video on a pinned comment, very bottom of the video, with both Dan's and Furry's links. Guys, make sure you take some time out of your day, go check them out, go give them that follow, give them that like, that subscribe. It'll help their channel out. Not to mention they both have great, amazing content. And as you see during the video, guys, we have a nice fun. It's a good group discussion. It's not, you know, that we're not battling back and forth. It's a good conversation going over the different topics in game right now, how we feel, where we see things going, updates coming, you know, just a little bit of everything, guys. And it was a really good conversation. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. So let's get into it. So tell me a little bit about yourself. So, for example, Furry, I know you are not a Raid Shadow Legends content creator, is that correct?
No, I am not. I'm actually AFK Arena is where I started.
Okay.
Been playing games pretty much forever. I mean, even from getting the first Atari and Nintendo when I was little, it's never stopped. Into MMO RPGs, we started with Ultima Online, moved into Dark Age of Camelot, World of Warcraft for 10 years. It's just been kind of a transition from game to game forever. I mean, it's been almost 40 years. It's just been gaming.
Oh wow, okay, so you're very versed in then a lot of different games then. So it's not just your gacha and your mobile games. Like, obviously you've been playing, you kind of grew up playing a lot of video games then. Is that correct? Awesome.
The old Zeldas, I mean, everything from Final Fantasy, the original one, even going back again to Atari. It's been games my whole life. I even remember playing games on the computer when it first just kind of came out, and it was chat only. There were no pictures, there were no graphics. It was just straight up chat.
Oh wow, yeah. Nice. So yeah, old school gaming. All right, I like it.
Yep.
So Dan, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, man?
Yeah, my name's Dan Heilman. Kind of a similar story. I've been playing video games as long as I can remember. I remember playing regular Nintendo forever with all my buddies. Then we moved on to Super Nintendo, then Nintendo 64, and just kept going. I played also World of Warcraft for, God, had to be 10 years. I think I was maybe 11 or 12 when we first started playing that. I played a lot of Path of Exile. I've been playing that since the beta. I've been playing Raid Shadow Legends for probably a year, although I really don't play much anymore ever since I started playing Summoner's Glory. So yeah, that's kind of my story.
Okay. Yeah, I see. I noticed that you have a Path of Exile shirt on right now.
Yeah, they had the launch today for the new league. It was it was a little rough. You know, they have a record number of players right now, and their servers can't really handle it. So
sorry, we had someone coming over for just a second. Showed up right in the middle of this. It was awesome. Okay, I am so sorry about that.
It's okay.
You never know what's gonna happen. I figured 9 o'clock at night, you know, it'd be pretty safe, but no, we wouldn't have any random visitors or guests or anything. So sorry about that.
All good.
But yeah, anyways, you said, so the last part I caught, I'm so sorry, is that the Path of Exile new league today, and you start playing that, right? Get the league start going?
Oh yeah, I tried streaming it. It was rough today. It was like, I streamed for 3 hours, and I think I could maybe play the game for 30 minutes because of so many disconnects, and every time you get disconnected, you have to wait in the queue again. So it was pretty annoying.
I bet you that was a ridiculous queue. Yeah. So
that's a
What's
World of Warcraft release, the exact same. You wait in the queue to get on servers.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I mean, I played Final Fantasy 14 a lot, and I heard that one had a queue. Or I mean, I know it has a queue, but it's very short. But yeah, I never heard anything about the WoW when that new expansion dropped. So that had a long wait time too. Wow,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
insane.
We spent 45 minutes to an hour usually trying to get in when they either did a major update or when an expansion came out. It was queued for quite a while.
Oh wow, that's insane.
Did you play WoW Classic at all?
I did for a little bit. I actually beta tested World of Warcraft while we played Dark Age of Camelot.
Gotcha.
It was way back. I mean, the group that I came from Ultima Online to Dark Age of Camelot, from Dark Age of Camelot to World of Warcraft, we've been playing games for probably about 20 years now together.
Oh wow,
It's been kind of crazy just going through it all.
Oh, that's cool. So that's a lot of your community then too, I would assume, right? Like, so you got your community going in and on these games as well, or?
Yeah, some of it. I can't
Awesome.
imagine if I started doing YouTube or Twitch a lot earlier. I mean, it's
Mhm.
only been about a year and a half
Oh, okay.
since I've even done anything.
Oh wow, so you've only been at this for a year and a half then. So you've amassed quite a bit of following then within that such a short time.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it's been really good, and I'm sure the COVID bump helped a little bit.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, sure. I wish I had started sooner doing the YouTube and streaming stuff for sure. I like
Right.
made YouTube videos like I'd make like one a year for like 5 years, and then obviously you don't gain any traction making that few videos. So
Right. I know. See, I just recently started myself, but unfortunately during COVID, it was actually my busiest time. So I'm a machinist. So when COVID hit, we laid off a lot of or furloughed a lot of our employees. But I'm a programmer, so they kept me around to do like prototype jobs during COVID. So it was actually my busiest time of the year, unfortunately.
Oh,
gotcha.
Yeah. So it would
It
have
was
been
the same thing
nice
for me.
Yeah, I would have kind of enjoyed that little break of staying home and probably getting the content going a little sooner. But yeah, no, that's awesome. For it sounds like that definitely took off very quickly for you, and COVID was actually a good impact into your life and career as far as like streaming and YouTube goes, right?
yeah. I mean, I got a regular full-time job. I'm a bank manager. All through COVID, we never closed.
Oh,
We
that's
remained
awesome.
open the entire time through the whole thing.
Oh wow, that's awesome. And today's day and age, that is really cool to be able
Yeah.
to for your company and everything to remain open that entire time. So that's awesome.
Very cool.
Oh yeah. So I noticed. So Furry, what kind of got you into playing Summoner's Glory? I guess because I know like I've watched several of your videos so far, and they're very interesting as far as like. I mean, you're going through the same motions as all of us. You're learning the game. You're kind of getting into it. But what kind of like brought you into a game like this? I guess I should say.
So even probably last 2 years of AFK Arena, I
Mhm.
kind of was hard into AFK Arena, but with AFK Arena, the thing is you can only do so much. Once you
Okay.
went through, you spent your 15 minutes, you did all of your daily quests. A lot of people have multiple accounts, which I do, but
Mhm.
essentially I needed a game that I could actually play. So
Oh,
this
okay.
is kind of similar to having the 5-man teams, having the phantoms in this game. Really interested me, especially how you can develop the phantoms a part of your main hero,
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah.
it's always something that I've loved. I went through probably about 30 or 40 games over the last 2 years,
Hmm.
trying to find something that kind of caught my attention. I even tried the one game you guys were talking about that you streamed. I tried the Path of Exile. I tried the Dragon Champs.
Okay.
I've went through a bunch and nothing really seemed to stick.
Okay.
Even before that, I got into AFK Arena. I always played Clash of Clans. I spent
Oh,
about
okay.
5 years
Yeah.
playing Clash of Clans. So that was always fun. And again, playing with all of my buddies, it
Hmm.
was a game we kind of picked up. But RPGs have always been the core. That is what I have always played. And like I said, going back to Final Fantasy, going back to Phantasy Star, going back to all of the originals, I've played everything through time, and it's always the RPGs. That's always been what I absolutely love to play. So when I started playing this game, it was one that I definitely got into right from the beginning, and also coming with a few people that I play AFK Arena with, it made it
Hmm.
really, really easy to transition to it.
Awesome. No, that's good to hear because I was curious. So I myself, I've never checked out AFK Arena. So I did. I was able to catch your stream for a little bit last night, and was able to kind of watch just a little bit because you were streaming some AFK Arena, and it looks interesting. But yeah, it almost looks like a really completely different game than obviously like Summoner's Glory, for example. So So yeah, so it definitely looks interesting. So yeah, I was just curious as to what kind of drew you into it, versus being as you were already making content for AFK Arena. So that's awesome. Dan, I noticed. So I've talked to you quite a lot off camera here, and I know you're pretty much end game as far as Summoner's Glory goes right now, right?
Yep.
So I noticed you had a lot of enchantments, you had a lot of different farming in the troves, and we've talked about recommended strategies and different things that you've done. So you want to go into a little bit more of your thoughts on, like, for example, your farming on the trove for the enchantments since you are end game, and then like kind of like how you would use that said trove?
Sure. So the trove is good for basically three things. Doing your mastery test, which is a requirement to, get the stars above your head, and finding enchantments, and it's a great way to burn through all your diamonds. All jokes aside, though, actually, I've got some great gear in there. So in the
Okay.
beginning, I only did it for mastery test. That's basically the only reason I went in there. And then after the Easter event, I whaled out a little bit, and I actually had some extra diamonds to spend. So I spent some time in there, and I just wanted to complete all of my enchantments, so I had at least one copy of each one. And then I wanted
Okay.
to upgrade a couple of mine, but actually while I was in there, I got a 5-star legendary weapon. I got the Ice Dragon Saber. I got 3 other pieces of 5-star legendary gear. I don't think I've gotten any from Ghost Vault. I think I've got all my
Oh, really?
legendary gear
It's
from
all
the
from the
Royal
trove?
Trove. Yeah. Yeah, but you got to be prepared when you go in there, because in order to clear out a whole page, it's 2,400 diamonds, right? So you got to have at least 2,400 diamonds when you're starting to roll them, so that you can buy out the whole page if you find something that's like really amazing in there,
Oh, okay, gotcha. So
Yeah.
but Furry, we want to let me know, like, kind of like I saw your video on it, and it seems like you were kind of just like you were just using the trove just for enchantments, right? Or did you have kind of the same thoughts or theory as Dan did as far as using it?
So pretty similar. I mean,
Okay.
a lot of the 5-star gear, because I run with Tobin and Hoofbite a lot.
Oh, okay.
We've went through and did a lot of Ghost Vault kind of farms. I think I have 3, 4. I think I have 3 or 4 pieces right now
Okay.
of the 5-star gear that we're enchanting. But ultimately, I realized I can't get any of the enchantments. Literally, when we did all of our runs, I had one single enchantment, and that was the only one I was running.
Oh, that's
So
rough.
I looked in either, waiting for a month to get an enchantment, or
Mhm.
just really going in there and farming the trove to at least get them level 1, level 2, get them unlocked so I can utilize them. Because I felt like if a battle's going, 60, 80, 100 rounds,
Mhm.
without having the enchantments, I'm bringing absolutely nothing to that picture because I don't have any enchantments to
Oh,
offer.
okay. Yeah.
Literally, just the one basic enchantment was going on cycle, and that was all that I had.
Gotcha. Yeah. So your thought process on it is just how important they are to have in there, especially for your longer battles, is kind of what you're getting at, right? So it's kind of worth it to go in there and try to get your enchantments as best as you can or easiest as you can.
Yeah, I mean, at 3 at the very minimum, it's kind of
Mhm.
ideal because, of course, the enchantments you get out of the shop are random.
Right.
So you have one, but again, it takes a ton of time if you're not purchasing them for money or waiting to get possibly one a month. That's really it. So that's the only way to get enchantments right now. If they offered another method to get some enchantments, I would
Mhm.
definitely look at that. But now it is pretty much just straight to the trove if you're looking for enchantments, short of just spending money on them.
If you look at the
Gotcha.
sources, it actually
Mhm.
says you can get them from the what are those maps that you go and find the chest? What are they called?
Treasure
Maps?
maps?
The treasure maps.
Yeah, treasure maps.
Does it
It says
say
you
it?
can get them from there, but I've never ever seen them drop from there.
So Incredible and Hoofbite both said that you can't get them from the maps right now. They said
Oh,
to
okay.
actually bank all of your treasure maps because they're not in the game yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense then.
So I have 30, 40, 50. I probably have about 60 maps just sitting there. Yeah, they said the enchantments were supposed to be in the maps, but they've never been added to the maps.
Gotcha. Because if you look in
Okay.
the info, there's like one of the tabs you can look at. Yeah, is that the one? Oh no, there's
No,
another
it's
one.
just
It says you
enchantment
can get them
themselves.
from the It says you can get them from those maps, which is
Yep.
funny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. When I started, I went through and did probably about 25 maps. And then
Mhm.
again, talking to Hoof, he was like, you can't get them from the maps yet. Even if
Oh.
you look when you log in, it's got a little thing that says about the updating of the treasure maps.
Mhm.
I think at one point they're finally going to add it in to get those
Oh, okay.
enchantments out of there.
Gotcha. So you kind of
Gotcha.
got hoodwinked on it. Like you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go in here and get these enchantments, and then you did run a bunch of them, and obviously, like you're saying, you didn't get any, and then found out
Oh,
about it later. So that kind of sucks.
yeah, because when I finally unlocked it, so when I got
Hmm.
into the magic cannon, I'm like, again, I was like, I don't have any enchantments. We're doing all this content, and I have 0 enchantments, so it's making it really hard. And then
Right.
finding, yeah, there's not really anywhere to get them.
Right.
Yeah. See, I was very lucky and fortunate. I somehow got 4 of them quickly, but I think I got mine from Arena. But now, like, I actually, I think when I did my trove video, I noticed that there's enchantments in there. It's like, uh-oh. And I now know where I'm spending all my diamonds from now on.
Yeah.
So,
I did the same. I was in the trove just doing the regular, I'm going for the mastery, and
oh, okay,
I
yeah.
refreshed it one time and it showed up in there.
Oh,
I was
I
like,
got you. And that's how you came
SOB. I'm
across
like,
with it.
there are
Okay,
enchantments in there.
nice. Yeah, I could definitely see how that'd be important all of a sudden.
Yep.
So that's awesome. So yeah, so it sounds like we're kind of on an agreement with with how the trove works, and then what we're trying to get out of the trove. So that's awesome. Like I'm glad to hear that. It's not just one or the other. It seems to be like a lot of this game, like a lot of people are coming into an agreement on different things, and it's not like other games where you got like the polar opposite of the spectrum, I guess you could say. Um, but leading into what could possibly the polar opposites, Dan, I saw you actually had a video about max damage on your YouTube channel. Did you want to kind of share with some of your findings and some of your thoughts as far as like what made you think to test this and kind of how you went about testing it to get the said findings? Because I believe you actually came up with like who was the most powerful phantoms within the game, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
I actually the video is on my channel. It's called New Damage Meta, super clickbait title in all caps. And then it says all damage dealers ranked. So basically what I did is I took the base stats of every phantom and I just built a formula that basically shows how much damage they can do.
Okay.
And you just take the percentage of the multipliers times their stats and you just assume a standard 90% or just like the same value for all of them. And I just
Hmm.
put it into a spreadsheet, every single phantom in the game. And there's some interesting ones. A lot of the top damage meta phantoms were at the top of the list. But there
Hmm.
was a couple like Merlin, Duke of Fate, King Argon, King Arthur that were very high. They were ranked
Really?
very,
Okay.
very high. Yeah, Merlin is actually the #1 single target DPS in the game, which was pretty surprising to me.
Yeah, that's very surprising because I know as far as meta goes, he's not really the top of the meta for DPS, right? Like, I mean, other than maybe Arena. So it's
Yeah,
very
exactly.
interesting.
So
Um,
then I'm trying out a couple of them on my free to
mhm.
play account that I'm leveling up. I'm trying Merlin and Duke of Fate. So
Okay.
yeah, and they're pretty strong. They hit pretty hard.
Oh, nice. Very nice. I'll have to keep that in mind then when I get my tier list going.
Yeah.
um,
Yep.
so Furry, kind of like going over that question. I mean, I didn't see if you had done a video yet on max damage, but I figure you've been playing AFK Arena enough to where is that something that's really a factor in that game that would kind of correlate with Summoner's Glory or no?
Some of it does. Most of AFK
Hmm.
Arena is really based on because the fight in AFK Arena is a little set up a little different than this. You only
Okay.
get a minute 30.
Oh, so
So
there's a
that is all you
timer.
get. Yep. You don't get 60, you don't get 90, you don't get 180. You get a minute 30. But essentially, a lot of times in AFK Arena, the formations rely on one damage dealer, and the
Okay.
rest of it either tanks or crowd control. So as
Oh,
long as
okay.
your one damage dealer can kind of carry,
Hmm.
um, you can win the battles through crowd control. Just like here, I equate it to the attack bar reductions or the speed that the haste.
Hmm.
Um, Kind of the same where in AFK Arena, haste absolutely owns the game. That is by far the most important stat. Where in
Hmm.
here, it seems like a lot of the attack bar reduction or the speed increases are what really destroy it here. I mean, I run the team that is kind of the lockout team.
Okay.
So running Sea Conqueror with the Dracula's Eye with Haley and Sea Commander, just running all of them,
Oh,
is
okay.
the
Yeah.
battles I go through. The enemy never attacks the entire battle.
Gotcha. Because you're just doing all that manipulation, that CC then. So you're going with more of the CC meta versus the max damage meta.
Yeah, and it, like I said, for a lot of battles, you can simply just rack up as many tries as you want, even when they go enraged. It doesn't make a difference because they never attack. It's kind of weird that it works that way, I guess.
Oh, I mean, that's awesome. Have you noticed any, so is there any pitfalls that you've noticed with said strategy, or is it pretty consistent then? As far
It's pretty consistent. The only thing that I notice is if they get to the full enrage, so if they get to that the very final enrage, usually they will just kill you. But this team doesn't do much damage.
Okay.
That's the problem. Just like you were talking with the max damage, this team is kind of a slow burn team. They're not going to do very much damage, which racks up to a lot of rounds, which means that the battles take a long time.
Okay, gotcha. So you're okay. That makes sense. So it's more of the quality over quantity type approach, right? Where in a speed tuned max damage meta, you may get a lot out fast, but the opponent gets one turn, it may wipe your team. So your strategy definitely takes into account of the don't let them go, the don't get hit strategy. I like it. As long as you dodge the damage or you don't have to take the damage, then you can't lose, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. So is that I guess that formation then that you're running, do you think that's going to be viable then for the end game, say when we get new content, or is it or are you just now starting to get out and explore the other different strategies right now?
This one I really built to farm runes.
Okay.
So yesterday I was going in and farming runes. I farmed, I think, about 400 rune books to go ahead and use. And it's very, very easy because I can go through the demon fortress. And again, the enemies never attack.
Gotcha.
So I just literally set it on farm and kept farming runes and farming runes. Most of my heroes had like green and blue runes. Now I have a ton of epic runes and a ton of legendary runes just from farming overnight.
Nice. Awesome. So, so Dan, since I know you did the video on the damage multipliers and the max damage, what is your what formation are you currently running, and kind of what's your take on your strategy for in the game?
So I run Goddess Zoe, Ancaris, Sea Conqueror, and Lord of Shadows. And some of my Zoe and Ancaris are two of my favorite phantoms in the game right now. And basically, Zoe, I think, is probably the strongest phantom in the game right now. I was able to push a lot higher content once I got my Zoe, just because constant heals every single turn. You got the burn on so that the enemies have the huge heal reduction. I think it's 35%. And just all the heals and all the damage. She hits like a truck. I put some squall runes on her, and she hits really hard. I have almost 100% crit, and I think I only have like 70% crit damage, something like that. But she hits hard, and she just, especially when you're in a formation or a group with other people doing dungeons, you're healing every single person on the team. So you got what, 6? You got 9 people you're healing every single time any of them get a turn. So it's a crazy amount of healing. And then I have Sea Conqueror in there just for the attack bar reduction. I make her basically as fast as she goes so that she can go in there, absorb everyone's attack bar, and she gets a stun off here and there, and she puts the decreased defense down. It's only a single target, but other than that, and then I just have Lord of Shadows. He's just in there for the stun, the unkillable, and he hits like a truck. If you build his HP up really high, he is a monster.
Gotcha. So you're doing scaling. So I believe does Zoe scale with HP as well, or is it just Lord of Shadows?
Just him. But Goddess Zoe's aura actually does buff Lord of Shadows, and it's actually the only aura that buffs Lord of Shadows. It's the only way you can buff his damage.
Okay, gotcha. I knew there was some sort of synergy there, so that's awesome. So that's interesting. So I'm running almost the same formation and I went the damage meta approach, but I used Zeus instead of Lord of Shadows. So that's interesting. So we have, Furry's don't get hit strategy, which seems to work out really, really well for him, guys. And then you also have the let's play with the damage meta guys who, we're using almost the same squad, other than I'm using a Zeus and he's using a Lord of Shadows. But it seems like either strategy you really want to take is going to get you a pretty comparable outcome, guys, which is awesome. And so I do think that's one of the best caveats of this game is you're not tied into doing only one thing within the game.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
I definitely agree with Gotta Zoe. She's just a powerhouse. I have her right now at Evo 6, and yeah, between the burn, the heals, and everything, because essentially running in squads, I run her and C Commander. So both of them together, that's my squad formation. And out of the players I usually run with, I'm the only one that has her. So bringing her definitely makes a big difference when it comes to going through Ghost Wall.
Gotcha. Yep. Oh yeah, I can see how that could be a big difference then. So that's awesome. So so speaking of that, were you able to get Goddess Zoe because of the crystal shop change with the Easter update they did, or did you already have her before that particular update came down the line?
Nope, I already had her.
Okay.
I actually picked her up. She was one of the very first ones that I got. Still don't have Merlin, still don't have Arthur. There's still a bunch of phantoms that I haven't picked up yet. Been summoning like crazy, but still never seen them.
Oh, that's lucky. Rough. Yeah,
lucky on the Zoe though, and a pull. I definitely had to buy her with crystals.
Yeah. I did too. I have the one Zoe, and I bought her in the crystal shop. That was it. I've got 5 skill phantoms right now that I've been kind of holding off on. I want to do some damage testing on Goddess Zoe before I use them on her. But it's funny that you mentioned that you actually got it from books, but you haven't gotten a lot of the other ones. So I had the opposite problem. I got almost every phantom from books other than Goddess Zoe.
Same.
Okay. It's funny because we came over here and I just started summonings. I got her really early. A guildie summoned. We were exchanging summons. He pulled her too.
Wow.
And that was it. Nobody else in the guild has pulled her.
That's nuts. See, Ivy League Gaming did that. I had her on the podcast last week, and she was telling me, she pulled Goddess Zoe within her first 2 summoning sessions, I think, is what she said. I was like, holy crap. Yeah, and then you got people like me and Dan who have yet to pull her from a book.
Yeah.
I just want to get her skills up. And it's the same thing that I have with Anakiris. So I've actually been using Secret Dancer instead of Anakiris, just because Secret Dancer, I've gotten lucky with pulls and I've gotten quite a bit of maxing out her skills. So Anakiris is all just ones across the board, where Secret Dancer I have almost maxed out.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. That makes sense. You want to use obviously your highest skilled phantom as you can. So okay. So the reason why I kind of wanted to lead into asking about the Easter event is because during that update we were teased that we were going to get more updates. So do you guys want to have a little chat on what we think is coming to the game versus what's actually going to come to the game, and so on and so forth? Because I feel like, since my podcast last week, we've kind of got a little hoodwinked as far as what was supposed to go on this week for the updates in game. So Dan, do you want to kind of start off with what you thought we were supposed to get this week in game, and we'll kind of go from there and we'll bounce it back and forth here?
Sure. Yeah, I knew we were getting the Evo update, the fast Evo, and honestly, recently, like the last week, I've been holding off on Evo because it is just so time consuming to get I just finally made my first Evo 7, and oh my god, it just takes so long to do it. So I was really hoping that we were going to get the fast Evo. I heard some rumors that we may get arena changes. I heard they were talking about something with not being able to rank up in arena so quickly, so that you couldn't just go in there and fight 4 games and get all the way to number 5. And I heard they were also going to redo loot in arena to make it a little bit more exclusive to get stuff from arena. There was a bunch of other rumors going around. Some people like, oh, the new instance is coming, and oh, this and that, but all rumors, I'm sure.
Okay. So Furry, what did you heard or what did you hear about the update coming?
Same thing. I heard a lot about the
Okay.
PvP. I heard some about they want to do like the overall haul with the guild wars,
Mhm.
really making it guild versus guild, putting some good some good content in there, some good rewards in there. Same with PvP. Guild bosses. I don't know anyone who uses the guild bosses right now. It seems like either they're too weak or they're way too strong. Our
Mhm.
guild opened up the first guild boss. We killed it in 2 seconds. Opened up the second guild boss. Couldn't even get it below 90%. We just got absolutely destroyed when it came to the boss. And ultimately, the loot in there wasn't that solid either.
Mm.
I heard updates to treasure maps. I heard the new instance possibly coming in the future, but fast evos is the big one. I know
Mhm.
that's going to be really the draw of bringing people to the game is they have to make that evo process easier with that fast evo, because if you
Mhm.
spend 8 hours in Summoner's Glory and those 8 hours are literally just clicking a button to
Mhm.
evo after evo after evo, I feel like a lot of players are just going to lose interest if you're not a hardcore gamer.
Right.
To a lot of people again are just going to kind of lose interest because it's very time consuming and it's minimal return.
Yep.
Right. Yep. I know. Actually, I did a video on the date, or I did a on like the upcoming update, and I timed myself. So I also play Path of Exile, and we did a race. So I had a timer like readily available on my desktop, and I was streaming, and I was like, you know what? I wonder how long this takes the time. And yeah, like I definitely think that the Evo update is going to be the most beneficial because it took me 9.5 minutes of concentration to go from Evo 1 to Evo 3 on one Phantom. So yeah, so you got to be a real dedicated gamer to spend 9.5 minutes to an Evo 3 that you have to do what, like 12 times for an Evo 5, I think, or Evo 6.
Yeah, well, some on Discord they said it was like I think like 21 or 22,000 clicks
Ooh,
to get to Evo. I think it was Evo 6 or 7.
okay.
Yeah, they said literally like the 6 clicks of evolving one Phantom, just
Hmm.
the multitude.
That's
Yeah.
insane. That is
And I
so
don't know about
insane.
you guys, but I get
Hmm.
so distracted when I'm doing Evo. Like I'm like, all right, I need 4 Evo 2s to get an Evo 3, and I'm going through and I'm like, wait, how many did I just do? And I got to keep on going back and checking, and it's like all over the place, and it's like, oh my god, this is so painful.
Yeah, I'm the same way. When I do it now, I throw something up on the other monitor while I'm clicking. I'm like, okay, I will kind of watch here, and then I'll notice I'm clicking off to the side, and I'm not actually clicking what I'm supposed to do, and it's yeah, it's a whole mess.
I
Yeah.
think they really need some way to sort the Evos too.
Okay,
When you're going
okay,
through your
yeah.
Phantom list, that's very very broken with how you can sort them.
Hmm.
If I could literally just sort them out to, let's say, fire and just go through and do all the fire evos what I wanted to,
Hmm.
but I find it, yeah, kind of frustrating when I'm looking for, okay, I just want to see a phantom, a phantoms only.
Right.
I'm really breaking it out and breaking it down.
Yep.
Okay.
They need more filters for everything. They need more filters for phantoms. They need more
Hmm.
filters for runes. They need a way to lock runes. Like, come on. That's one of my
Yeah,
biggest
I don't disagree. So actually, I had a note here
headaches.
that I wanted to talk about because, which actually that leads us into a really good topic about a dream update, and I think my number one update that I'd like to see for this game would be filters. I'd like to see, like you said, the filters for your runes, for your filter on the phantoms. I feel like that's a good idea. Like, because it'd just
Yeah.
be nice to just segregate them out. Because I do the same thing. Like I try to do my evos within my fire, within my water, within my wind, as going through. So yeah, I think my number one wish as far as updates coming, I guess on top of like give us Evo 1 through 3, like give us that as a give me, but also give us filtering. So do you guys want to touch base and kind of say what you would say is your number one update that you would like to see? Furry, you want to start that one?
Yeah, one thing I'd like to see filtered is the entire chat system, and that's
Okay.
kind of getting spammed with system updates every probably, I mean, backlogged for minutes, if not half an hour,
Okay.
especially when you're trying to communicate in guild or when you're trying to talk to your squad.
Hmm.
I find it very hard because you're going through screens, you're going through battle, you're being attacked, and every time it's getting rid of the chat, and
Okay.
they just need a chat function that's going to carry over, because even seeing chat down in the bottom, if someone says anything, it's literally spam with system updates the whole entire
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
You can't see anything if somebody drops something in guild chat. If you're on a different tab, you'll never see it.
Gotcha. Yep. No, that's a really good point. Actually, I didn't even think of that one. Dan, what would you say? So piggybacking off of that, what would you say? Are you sticking with the gear, or what would be your dream update for the game?
Well, my number one was the same as you, with
Okay.
the filters and the runes, but I'll say my number two then. Like clan boss or guild boss. I've
Okay.
never even been able to attack the guild boss yet. Adhox is my guild leader, and he won't even
Okay.
turn it on. He's like, oh, the loot is useless, you know. So I've never even been able to even try it, which is kind of annoying.
Okay.
But they need to have it open the whole day, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, we get what, an hour or whatever to do it. It needs to be open the whole day, and they need to have some decent rewards in there, you know.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. I think that's very fair. So it doesn't sound like, so it's funny, guys. So as I'm kind of thinking about this as we're discussing it, it doesn't sound like we're really asking that much for updates in the game. You know what I mean? Like, or maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't seem like we're asking that much. That's awesome. That's awesome. Like, that tells us it's a good start to the game, right? Like, if what we're asking for is kind of minimal changes, right? So I like
Right.
that. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Well, even some little things that I've been making suggestions that I started is one thing that was super frustrating when we started. You look at the world map, it doesn't show what zones or what levels.
Oh,
You literally
okay.
have to go from zone to zone to zone to try to figure out where you can farm, where you can level up, where you can do the quests. Even a lot of quests that I'm picking up now are in zones that I can't kill.
Okay.
So it's an easy update like that, like even just to the map, I think would make it a lot easier. And again, being a new player to the game, it was difficult for a while, and a lot of people who came in and joined the guild, really a lot of communication with them, which we talk on Discord, because again, the chat here doesn't work very well. We just have conversations on Discord to make it easier to where you go or what part of the quest, and even some of the little things like the auto pathing. With some of the daily quests, the auto pathing is super broke. You just fight enemies the whole time. You never complete the quests. They're You just need to clean up a lot of I feel the clutter in the game.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I definitely can't disagree with any of that whatsoever. That's all a very good point. I actually, it's kind of funny you bring some of that up, because I just had to go over a few new guild mates the other day were bringing up and asking me those questions. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it is kind of silly now that you bring it up, because we were going to go summon some books, and we went to a certain area, and they ran into a phantom and died, and got teleported away from somewhere, and they're like, what happened? What did I do wrong? And I'm like, oh yeah, sorry, you're too low of a level to come in here. Like, just be careful, don't hit any phantoms on your way in. We had to teleport them in via squad, so it was interesting.
Yep.
So actually, with that being said, because of just some of the minor clutter in the very beginning and basics here, guys, what would you guys advise or suggest to new players just now coming into the game? Dan, do you want to kick that one off?
Yeah, sure. There's all sorts of different things I would say to recommend, but a couple of the top ones is basically just don't take anything past Evo 2 unless it's an SS. I think I made that mistake like a million times, probably a million times. I had to keep on going by the time key and use it, and I'm like, God, when am I gonna learn? But just when you're going through doing the evos, you just don't think about it, you know. And then another huge thing is obviously using SS phantoms in your formations. You always want to focus on them. You don't want to bring any S or A's in there. And a big thing is just team synergy. You know, designing a team that has synergy, that you can scale damage of other players in your team, and just phantoms that work well together. I think that's a huge thing. So I actually have a video that goes through and it shows the tier list and how you can set up your team and stuff like that. So there's a lot of videos on my channel to check out all sorts of different things like that for new players.
Awesome, awesome. Furry, what would you say to a brand new player just starting out? Was there anything that you did or wish you knew from the day one?
Quite a bit. It seems like kind of the applied knowledge is power. The more you know going into this, especially using Discord, using guides, using rune guides, using
Hmm.
chat, and also having players that play the game that are further than you. A lot of stuff and content that I couldn't get through, we
Hmm.
either went through as a team, or again, we hooked up early with a couple of players that have been playing Summoner's Glory for a while. So
Hmm.
they helped us through a lot of the content, explained a lot of it, just like the treasure maps. There was a lot of stuff that people are probably getting treasure maps and using them every time they got them without getting the loot because it's not in the game yet.
Hmm.
Knowing the zones,
Hmm.
the map needs to be easier, the chat needs to be easier. Again, as a newer player, they just need to make it a lot easier, even to draw people in.
Hmm.
If they stay, definitely well worth it. I mean, the game has a lot of content. I'm still worried about what the end game content looks like and how
Okay.
that's really going to hold players' attentions when everybody starts, getting to level 190 on the server and starts getting all these Evo 8s. Kind of what the future plans for the game hold. Ultimately, just making it more user friendly up front is really what I feel. Knowing again the difference between the Evos, even just breaking it down. Hey, this is A Evo, this is S Evo, this is SS, and even making sure a lot of the information is correct. Because I
Hmm.
heard like Arthur, you can't get in an A, and you can't get Arthur in an S. When you go to the
Oh, okay.
Grimoire, they're in
Yep.
there, but you don't have them, or you can't get them.
Gotcha. Yep.
So some of it can be confusing with the content that they have out there as a newer player.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I could see that for sure. Because yeah, I mean, I think I started out. That's actually something that I kind of wanted to point it out is so I guess my tip to the starting player is don't rush. So that's what I tried to do is I wanted to like I started the game, I played it. I think I was only a few days in. And I was like, you know what? I think I want to make content on this game. That's what kind of drew me in. So I wanted to hurry up, max my account, do what I could, get as far as I could, yada yada yada. But there was stuff that I overlooked and didn't see. Being a new player, like you were explaining, because it is so cluttered at the very beginning. And looking back at it now, I think my biggest tip would be slow down, um, go until you get stuck. Start your brand new character, progress the storyline until you're done, until you can't progress it anymore, and then go ask someone for help. I think that would be my biggest tip starting out with a brand new player, brand new account is, to start with the very basics, go slow. And because, yeah, I definitely feel like everyone kind of progresses at this game at a different pace. And for the most part, it's fairly quick. I don't know if you guys would agree with that or not, but I feel like the game progression is pretty quick as far as like getting to the end game currently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did notice a huge difference between my two accounts, my whale account, my main account, and my free to play account. Actually, on my free to play account, I kind of hit a wall where I can't even complete like the final daily quest for gems, like or diamonds. I can't even complete it, so it's like, that's kind of
Okay.
annoying. So I definitely hit the wall on the free to play account and realized that, with a little bit of money, you can push yourself over a wall pretty easily. And money
Yeah.
goes a lot further in this game than it does in a game like Raid Shadow Legends. That's for
Okay.
sure.
So it's funny you say that. Furry, obviously, being the AFK Arena content creator you are, how is the money situation in this game versus AFK Arena? Does it go further or shorter, or how would you compare them?
I would say a little bit shorter. Honestly, out of
Hmm.
all the games I've played, AFK Arena is probably the most friendly free to play game that I've ever seen.
Oh, okay.
There's really nothing you can't achieve in the game over time. Granted, if you put money into it, of course, you're going to get it quicker.
Hmm.
But everything as far as heroes, everything as far as progression, you can do it all as free to play. It just takes more time. You don't have to put a penny into it. And there's peoples that are, that are late game, end game, and AFK Arena that are completely free to play. But if you really want to push progression faster,
Hmm.
that's really all you're paying for.
Okay. Okay. That's fair. So that's definitely a different take. So for example, Dan and I are both former Raid Shadow Legends players. So we come to this game from whaling out on our other game, right? And it's like, holy crap, like this is like nothing as far as monetization goes, like to get your account further. But so it's an interesting take that you coming from AFK Arena to Summoners, you're like, okay, well maybe it is a little bit higher priced. So as far as spectrums go, that's an interesting point to note that you know, the bigger games like Raid that are thousands of dollars to get really faster, you know, more progressive accounts versus AFK Arena, which it sounds like for the most part you're not spending a whole lot to get to the end game, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that do just because the nature of the game. I mean, we have people that'll come and drop 5 or 10 grand.
Oh, wow.
Accounts that are 2 or 3 months old that are catching up to accounts that are 2 years old, just because of the power of buying everything available.
Gotcha.
There's a couple players, yeah, that are the mega whales that literally buy every single pack that comes up every single time and just drop an insane amount of money in the game. Even for AFK Arena, I'm a light spender. I don't put that much into it. I do have free to play accounts, and I do have pay to win accounts that I put money into. And there's definitely a difference. But again, you can get any of the items both ways. You can either purchase it, which goes a lot quicker, or free to play. You can go ahead and you'll get it over time.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. That's definitely awesome. And it's I just kind of I like to hear more about it because, like I said, I'm a Raid player, and I believe Dan, you know, being a Raid player as well, we're not really familiar with AFK Arena, so it is interesting to see the comparison there. So that's really cool. Was there anything else that you guys kind of wanted to bring up today, or I should say tonight, as far as like what's going on in the game, or anything else that you would like to see transpire within the game?
I kind of hope.
Oh, go ahead.
I kind of hope the new instance that comes out is very hard. I hope we can't just go in there and, you know, clear it right away. I hope they actually make it pretty hard.
So that's the tack mirror, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Task mirror. Yep.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's again, like we talked about a little bit earlier, is I'm concerned with the end game content, the exact same. Once you start hitting that level 90 and you're just burning through the ghost vault over and over and over again on recycle, and then if they drop the new instance and you go through it very quick, well, then what do you do?
Gotcha.
And you just kind of chill. You keep getting Evo 8s. You keep building up your team, but again, there has to be something to push progression. There has to be something to push end game to keep players that are at end game. They have to have more content for that part of the game.
Okay. Yeah. No, I don't disagree. I'm basically at the end game. I think I have maybe a few more storyline missions myself that I need some help beating before that new update comes. But yeah, I definitely agree. I know I've spoke with a lot of members in the community who have they've kind of wailed out and they've made it to the end game, and now they're just kind of twiddling their thumbs going, okay, well, now what do we do? So yeah,
exactly.
I definitely hope that tack mirror instance is going to be a lot harder than what we think it's going to be. So,
and I hope they designed it a little different. Even with the ghost vault, you run around all the mobs, you fight the 4 bosses, you leave. Literally, that's it. I mean, most runs, it's kind of playing the fun game if you can make it and if you can run around all the mobs.
Right.
They need to add something. They need to add a little bit more content to it. Other than, again, just kind of running it on repeat, on repeat, on repeat.
Gotcha. Yeah, I can't disagree with that. Dan, you got a comment on that one?
Yeah, I think they could make the warrants, maybe the warrant quests, a little bit more lucrative to go into the dungeons, because I find myself a lot of times when it's like I just got the one for killing like 40 Rangars or whatever in Ghost Vault, and I'm like, I did the entire thing and I got to like 38, and then I was like, I had 2 left there at the very end, but it's like I spent forever in there, and I think all I got was like 50 diamonds. So if they
Okay.
want us to clear the trash, maybe make some of those
Mhm.
warrants worth a lot. Especially if I got to kill 40 of them. I mean, I went in there solo to kill them on normal, and
Mhm.
like it took me forever, and I got like I don't know 50 diamonds probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think they could maybe do something with that just to make. Because right now, yeah, you're right. You just go through, you skip all the trash, you go right to the boss, and
Mhm.
you just never look back. And that's
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I kind of was thinking that myself. So I was running, chosen through a couple of runs of Ghost Vault Hard to start off his new account, and I was thinking to myself, it's like, because I was hitting the mobs because I was doing warrants. It's like, man, like if I wasn't trying to help him out right now, like I wouldn't be doing this warrant because yeah, it's I had to hit 18 of the darkness worshippers, which isn't that end of the world, right? Like
Yeah.
18 of them, like you hit I think 4 or 6 of them just for clearing the bosses. But it's still like,
Right.
the extra 4 extra hits that I had to do, I'm like, man, this is a waste of time. Like, why am I doing this? Like, oh yeah, I'm helping so and so out. So
Yeah.
so yeah, I can see where you're getting at that. So yeah, warrants could improve a little bit for the ones that make us run through instances to complete them. So I could definitely see that for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John, you said you were running them through. Can you solo Ghost Vault?
Almost. I can almost do it with my current squad. So I can't do it. I can solo all the way up until the last boss. The
For
last
hard or for normal?
for hard.
Okay.
And the last boss is what kills me every time. Because I just can't. I don't have enough CC with my current squad. If I get my Ankaris up, I think I could possibly do it, or my Sea Conqueror. If I get her up, I maybe could. But yeah, I had actually Hoofbite with me, which is a one of actually Furry's teammates with me running through the instance. So
Gotcha.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, I can 2-man it with almost anyone as long as their Phantom doesn't die on the last battle halfway through. Like, yeah, we can clear it just fine, which is 2.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to get to the point where I think that'd be my end game, my own personal end game push is when I can do Ghost Vault hard solo with 2. If I can figure out whatever combination that is, so that way you could do the hard solo carries with just 2 Phantoms in your main Phantom. I feel like that's going to be my achievement in game. I feel like that's going to be the goal that I want to shoot for.
Yeah, same. I want to be able to run my free-to-play account through by myself.
Oh, that'd be
Just go ahead
awesome.
and power level yourself through it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that'd be great.
Wouldn't that be a sight to see? Like you just pull up the squad and you see it's Dan Heilman, Dan Heilman 2, 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, that would be kind of funny. So, all right, guys. Well, I don't have anything else for us tonight, unless you got one last thing. You guys got a minute? If we want to see, so obviously we're streaming this right now on Twitch. If we want to see if chat had any questions that they wanted to bring up, if you guys
Sure.
got a minute to go through those, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's see here. It looks like we only have one this time. I didn't mess it up. Last time I forgot to include the make them write a text section. I included it this time. So it looks like the only question we have so far is Joey B. Joey B92 says, are you all hyped about the info about another event May 1st? Quickest turnaround Mito Games has done with events thus far. So Furry, you wanna take off on this one?
Absolutely. I mean, anything new that they're bringing to Summoner's Glory is, of course, going to bring more content, going to bring more opportunities for things. And coming from AFK Arena, they do
Mhm.
things usually every 2 or 3 weeks, and that's
Okay.
been consistent for 2 years now. So I think that's where a lot of people have really kept the game fresh, and why the game still attracts so many players is the content has to be new. There has to be changes. There has to be events. Ultimately, they have to do more. I mean, since I've started playing this game, we had the Easter event,
Mhm.
and that is the only one that I've seen so far. So I'm really hoping that's kind of an indication of they're going to be doing them more frequently and possibly even making them a little bit bigger than they do, because that's similar to what I'm used to with the gaming style with AFK Arena.
Okay. Dan, what's your take on that?
I haven't heard much about the event besides that they're having an event. I don't know if there's
Mhm.
any other details released, but I'm sure when they did the Goddess Zoe event, I'm sure they just raked in cash from that event. So I'm sure it's I'm sure they're like, all right, well maybe there is something to these events here. And it
Mm.
really does spice up the game a little bit. The Goddess Zoe event was fun. Obviously it was kind of just like a spending event, but there was a lot of free to play people who were out there just collecting books from all the other people summoning. So I want to say that Gallifrey guilds together, we had something like 80 Goddess Zoes from that event. So
Oh
there was a
wow.
lot of Goddess Zoes that were had in that event. And for me, I really enjoyed the Easter event, but that's probably just because I like to spend money on games, so that's probably why I enjoyed the event. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with this next event. Is it going to be something totally different than what we've had before, or is it going to be something new? So it'll be interesting. I'm excited for it.
All right, cool. Yeah, cool. I mean, I'm very excited. So I've been telling everybody, and I've been saving my own diamonds at this time. I've been doing my Eddie quests. I've been preparing. This last Easter event that was only 25K. I actually just got corrected the other night on stream. I thought that so I was around right at the end of the Christmas event, and I thought that that one was only 25K as well. But apparently that one was 64,000, I believe. So
Yep.
big difference between that one and this Easter one we just had. So I'm kind of interested to see and excited to see if the next one's moving forward or the 25K, because if that was if they stay at 25K, just the what is this, the rebate card for diamonds for the 520 a day, like that could take
Yep.
care of that event for you. Like, what is it, like every couple of months? So that'd be awesome if that's the case. You know what I mean? Like, that'd be a very exciting event to keep the game fresh and alive, and for people to have new strategies for saving the diamonds. So because Dan, it sounded kind of like you were thinking it was more like they're gonna have another event as a money grab. Is that kind of what you were thinking?
I have no idea. I'm just
Okay.
all I know is the two events we've had so far. That's the only thing I have to base on it. So I don't know if they're going to do
Mm.
something similar or something totally different. I have no idea. We'll have to see.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, being as the Raid Shadow Legends player, and myself as well, I definitely understand where you're coming from as far as that topic goes. So um
Yep.
so it looks like we have one other question here in chat. So what are they going to do about the server issues? This is from Warbarb1. I'll start off on this one because, as far as I know, we don't have any big plans. I know server 3, they did a big overhaul on server 3. And I'd heard they were potentially going to do a big overhaul on server 1, but I can't quote or say anything definitive on this. Do you guys have any information about this, or any thoughts, I should say? Dan, we'll start with you.
I have an idea. What I would do if it was
Mm-hmm.
my game is I would do it exactly like how they do it in Path of Exile. In Path of Exile, you log
Mm-hmm.
into a server based on where the server is located. So if I'm in
Mm-hmm.
America, I log into an American server. If I'm
Right.
in China, I log into a Chinese server. And then I can still play with people from other realms. So then we don't need this whole, I'm stuck on server 1, you're stuck on server 3. Give us a server that's close to our location that we can log into to get a good ping, and then
Mm-hmm.
let us play with everyone. Do some sort of what do they call them, shards or instances like they do in World of Warcraft, so you don't like crash the server with everyone being on the same server, but do
Mm-hmm.
something like that. That's, I think, is the best solution.
Okay. Okay. That's a very interesting take on it. I didn't even thought of it like that. Furry, what's your kind of take on that? The server
Yeah,
issue.
I mean, I definitely agree with all that. And they
Mm-hmm.
they need the stability. That's the server has to work. If someone goes to log in the game, even if they're trying it for the first time and the servers don't come up, they can't get into the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's dead in the water right there. People are upset they can't play. They're hopping on Discord. They're hopping
Mm-hmm.
everywhere, or they're going to different games, literally just passing it by because they can't get into the game themselves. I know as soon as the servers go down, I get lit up on Discord. Hey, when it's going to be up? What's going on with it? Do you know anything
Mm-hmm.
about it? I was looking to play. So ultimately, they have to get the stability issues down first. I think
Okay.
from there, yeah, they can definitely. A lot of people have said time and time again, and I know they've even said server 2 is dead. Well, if that's migrating server 2 into server 1, server 3, whatever it may be, If there's not a people on that server to even play the game or support the game, they're running a server that they're not using at all or no one's playing. World of Warcraft started to do that as it got later into the game. They started integrating servers as they found servers, like if you had 3 or 4 different servers that were of low players, they just merged them all into one server, let all of them play together to take them to a medium or high server. And they started just consolidating servers that essentially were empty because then they don't have to run them.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, or let us choose the server when we log in. Let us take our account and choose server 1, server 2, server 3. So if server 1's overloaded, we can move over to server 2 and continue playing, something like that. There's a lot of different solutions that would work, or just getting better servers.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big thing.
I think the latter is the permanent fix, but I do like the brainstorming on the how to fix the servers problem.
You really don't have much of a game if you don't have any servers to run it on.
Right, and I remember when Hell Hades first came over here, I remember he made a video and he came over, server 1 was like destroyed. And I saw exactly what you were talking about. People just move on. I saw comments in Discord, oh, I can't even get into this game. You know, I wanted to try it, but screw it, I'm out of here, you know?
Yeah, it's a big problem. It's you got to start with the foundation, and unfortunately in the mobile gacha game area, like your servers are your foundation, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So okay. Yeah, no, I can definitely I can get behind basically any of those server adjustments you guys just said. So obviously in server 3, we don't see as nearly as much lag as server 1 does. But I have noticed that we've gotten a slight uptick in some players in certain times during the day. We are getting a little bit of lag from it, unfortunately. But yeah, I think any server update that we get is going to be just phenomenal for the game in itself. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
the game has grown a lot. I remember when I first started, I was server 1, and I'd be there, and I couldn't even find like people to pull books. I was at the blacksmith, I couldn't even find enough people, and then now it's like I go there and there's 200 people waiting.
Gotcha. Yeah, you go from almost nothing to, oh wow, there's almost too many people in here.
Right. And then I go over to server 2. I have an alt on server 2 over on Joey's server. And same thing. I still can't even find 4 people. I have to message Joey and be like, hey, get some people over here. I got to pull some books.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
funny. That's what a lot of people have said is server 2 is pretty empty. That there's no reason again for them to run an entire server that's completely empty.
Right.
Doesn't seem to make much sense.
All right. Fair enough. So yeah, guys, I think that I'm going to use that and kind of wrap up the Phantoms call with that one. Would you guys want to stick around for just a second and kind of tell people where they can find you at? Furry, we'll start with you.
Sure. What do you mean, like where my physical location?
No. So for example, a lot of people that are in my channel and that are going to be seeing me on YouTube, they're Raid Shadow Legends players. Being as your AFK Arena, do you want to just take a second and kind of explain to people like what kind of content you do, where they can find you, like via YouTube or Twitch or links and stuff like that?
Yep. So I primarily do YouTube. With AFK Arena, we usually do one to 2 videos a day, roughly. There's a lot of content with the game. A lot of it changes. Furry Hippo Gaming has been the name that we stuck with. It's actually going back probably about 16 years. Oh, wow. I do stream on Twitch every now and then. And I started doing Twitch. I think I have 200 or 300 followers just streaming AFK Arena over there because a lot of people were asking for it. So essentially I stream on YouTube and it was only exclusively YouTube, but it has branched out to Twitch just because so many people have been asking for it. So I do get people from both, people from YouTube, people from Twitch, and it's the same Furry Hippo Gaming on both sides. But that's when I started at Twitch. Even YouTube, I have about 17,000. We're almost to 17,000 subscribers. So it's definitely picked up since we started. And over there, even with AFK Arena, we get probably 5,000 to 10,000 views a video is a rough estimation. So there's definitely a following over there. And again, a lot of players have followed me over to this game because it is new content. It's very cool. It's different than AFK Arena, which is what I was kind of looking for, and that's really
Mhm.
what drew me here. Is the difference of the game from what AFK Arena is. It's a different game, definitely.
Okay, cool. Uh, so is YouTube and Twitch then primarily just the social networks that you use then?
Yep.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, I just want to make sure everyone knows where they can find your content. Just being, that the difference within the content and whatnot. So, Dan,
Yep.
how about you, man? Where can the viewers in chat find you at?
Yeah, so my YouTube channel is just my name, Dan Heilman. I'll drop a link in the chat right there. But
Mhm.
I basically just make Summoner's Glory content only. I make a lot of guide videos for new players. I have a guide on almost every aspect of the game. And when people say, hey, I need a guide on this, I usually turn around and make one in a couple days and put it out there. I make a lot of theory crafting videos and stuff like that too. I'm not huge on Twitch yet. I work full time and I kind of just do the YouTube stuff for fun. So I don't have a lot of extra time to stream, but that's probably the most requested thing. So I'll probably cave and set up a day to stream every week. My Twitch name is the same thing, Dan Heilman, no space in the middle. So yeah, those are my channels.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you guys. I just want to thank you guys so much for taking time of your day and come joining me. Dan, I know you haven't quite made it into the content creator program, but I see you're growing very, very fast. So I wish you the best of luck to growing your channel to get into the content creator program. And yeah, guys, thanks so much for hanging out today. I appreciate
Oh,
it.
thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks, man.
It's very cool to do.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
All right, guys, that's going to conclude it for the Fandoms Call, episode 2.